Alrighty, cool. Well, I will stop rating you with my questions and we'll jump into the question and answer. So these were all questions that were taken from chat throughout the majority of the podcast. So the first question comes from Paul. What has been your most memorable Halloween experience? It's one of my mods.
My mom is a wonderful and sweet woman. One year for Halloween, the weather was really terrible, which is pretty common because we're in the Chicago area. Like, we get actual fucking fall. One year it was really rough, and we were not going to be able to go trick-or-treating, and my mom wasn't about it. So she bust out her minivan, and she took myself and my siblings and, like, as many neighbor kids as we could fit into her van, and she took us door-to-door trick-or-treating in her van that year.
Oh, that's super fucking sweet.
Mm-hmm. I can't imagine, like, a bunch of fucking kids hopped up on sugar, all cracked out, just trying to go and grab more. Like, oh, no thank you. She has clearly the patience of a saint to do that.
What's funny about that is at least 50 to 75% of trick-or-treating around this area now is people piling into minivans, driving, unloading, grabbing candy, going in, driving again. So I unfortunately don't have any Halloween experiences because obviously growing up with Jehovah's Witnesses, no holidays. So we sat inside and studied the Bible on Halloween to keep away the demons.
So you don't have any exciting Halloween experiences yet?
Correct. I am going to get some flack for this. I don't like dressing up for Halloween.
That doesn't mean you're not going to have a good Halloween experience.
Right, because I can, like, a good Halloween experience means I go to CVS, get 10 5-for-5 bags of candy, and then just take on some pounds.
There you go.
Usually,
sounds like you got a great experience in your future, followed by some time on the toilet.
Yeah. Halloween, for the most part, lately has been the girlfriend and I dressing up and doing, like, some dual streams together, which is always a fantastic time. So those are probably my most memorable Halloween experiences. Next question from Alpha. What do you enjoy most about streaming?
The people, the perspective. It's wild to be able to, especially as you work on distancing yourself from your ego, you know, which is always a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
It's wild how much you can learn in a day of being live and having so many people as a part of the community, like, poke at you and try and tell you your business and try and ask you questions. It's a really fun challenge for me. Like, sometimes people are very well-meaning, but they can get very, like, let me explain to you everything that you need to do for your career and for whatever. And it used to be the type of thing that my ego would, like, kick in and be like, fuck them. You know, like, they don't know me. They don't know all the work I've put into this. How dare they try and tell me my fucking business? And now I see it and I'm like, I feel my ego just got, like, a little pink.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just thinking, okay, let's not let you go full fucking dick mode. Let's just take a deep breath and look at this and say, like,
long dick style. Right.
Long dick style. And usually it's a person who cares.
Yep.
You know, like, instead of being agitated now by a lot of people who tend to offer unsolicited advice, I'm just like, thank you for caring. That's really nice. Like, holy fuck. That's cool that you took time out of your day to, like, share something that you thought would help me. Unfortunately, I already knew the fucking shit you told me, but I still appreciate you.
And I mean, with you being in a position where you are constantly taking in other people's problems and issues and transgressions, you probably learn a lot about people in general. So I sort of miss that part of my life of being an open shoulder for people because you do learn a crazy amount. But unfortunately, and this could be different. You know, this was me, 6 to 8 years ago. It could be now that maybe I'm in a better mental place where I could be that for somebody else. But am I being the most valuable for somebody else doing that? Or is there something else that I can do that might be better for me and might be better for the other person, like the tech support thing? So that's something that I'm trying to kind of work through because I enjoy being someone for someone, right? There's definitely some heartwarming feelings. I don't know if it's pride or if it's ego, but there's a lot of there's just something that feels really good about being that person for somebody. And it kind of sucks that I can't do that for people because I want to, but maybe that's just not, what I'm supposed to be doing with my time, and I'm kind of open to that as well.
I mean, really, like, the best advice I can give for anyone who wants to be that shoulder for other people but are struggling to is, like, tend your own garden first, you know? Once you feel like you're at a point where you know who you are, where you have some good healthy habits in place, and where you can let go of things at will, whether it takes a little bit of effort or not, you can say, like, "There's only so much I can do. I'm not gonna let myself freak out over the fact that they're having a hard time when I can't do anything about it. I'm gonna do what I can do, and that's gonna be to listen, talk, whatever." But I think if especially for you personally, like, if you continue on with your meditation practice, if you start learning new ways to be present in every moment, you'll start finding that opening up to other people doesn't hurt the way it once did, because you can
Okay.
kind of see it and be like, "I feel that. I've felt that." And you have this exciting feeling of, like, hope for them instead of this feeling of overwhelming despair, like, wow, their life really is hard. It's more like, wow, even in the midst of all of that, I've talked to so many people who've had it worse, better, whatever, like, the experiences are so similar across the board. There's hope for all of us. It's just, are you ready to turn inward, you know?
Right.
That's really what it is. So if someone wants to reach out and, like, use you to kind of let go of stuff, I would say, like, budget out your time. Think about what you actually are capable of doing for them. And if you don't feel like they're putting in the work, tell them, like, "Hey, this is not a good use of my time or yours. Neither of us are growing or connecting in this way because I'm presenting things and you're presenting me with options or with obstacles, or, like, I couldn't do that. I can't do that. I have all these different things that prevent me." And you could just try it, you know?
Hmm.
But I think if you continue on your mental health and, like, mindfulness journey, you'll find that opening yourself up to people is a very energizing feeling where it once may have been very draining.
And maybe that's where my reservations come from, is me thinking that I will have to open up, and I'm not necessarily against it, but maybe I'm shy about it, Maybe, and that's
Mhm.
maybe something that I need to explore.
Yeah, I mean, where does that shyness come from? What are you afraid of? What could possibly go wrong here, you know?
Right,
There's a
right.
lot to analyze and dig into there, but it if it helps at all, not this past year, but the year before was, I spoke at Guardian Con for the first time, and I had been doing, like, the advice and answering DMs and doing all that stuff for however long before that, but I hadn't done it in person yet. I wasn't at a point yet where I had, hundreds or thousands of people coming up to me, telling me the things that are going on in their life and how I've helped them or how they're hurting or whatever. I almost quit after that Guardian Con
Really?
because I was exhausted. I was so drained. I was hurting for everyone who was hurting. I was grateful, but it was so much. Like, I remember being at a bar and, like, I always loved going to all of the after parties and trying to make myself, like, visible wherever I was needed, so to speak. But, like, I remember being kind of wedged into a corner at a bar, and there was, like, a line of people, and it kept kinda swapping out, and more people would come up and talk to me. And I had literally been, had people crying on my shoulder that night. Probably, like, 30 fucking people had cried on my shoulder that night at the bar.
Oh my
A lot of
God.
it was tears of joy, but, like, when you open up a lot about yourself and then people start sharing, it's gonna happen. But I was so exhausted by it that I talked to my boyfriend that night, and I was like, "I don't think I can do this. I don't think I'm cut out for this. I'm exhausted. I feel like I need, like, a 2-week detox now. Like, I need a vacation. I need to process. I need to, like, heal from this, you know?" In a year's time, the work that I put in on myself, made such a massive difference that this year, same thing, Guardian Con, talked about everything.
Which was fantastic, by the way. You
Thank
absolutely
you.
killed that.
Thank you. So it was the same thing. talked about all the things and stuff. People came up and approached me. You know, the channel and the community have grown since then. So the lines are even a little bit longer now. And instead of feeling so exhausted at the end of it, I remember the last night of Guardian Con, it was like 2, almost 3 a.m. And I'd just been going like morning till night that whole week there. And I was like, holy fuck, I feel great. I I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight. I'm gonna feel good tomorrow. I I had established such a good separation between myself and my own emotions that now I have that with myself and other people's emotions too. I see it. I feel your pain. I feel it so fucking hard. If I lean into that, I will cry my eyes out right this fucking second for how much I hurt for you. But I can also take a step back and in like a moment of deep breathing, regain control and be like, wow, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful that you trusted me with this. I'm so glad that I can take this for you and like still feel good. I was energized as fuck, man. I'm telling you. My friends were all ready to go home and I was like, shit, it's 3 a.m. I could still go. I could keep going. Who else wants to tell me all the shit that's wrong in their life? I got you. I
Right.
will take all of it on for you. I made so much room just for all of your shit. I got you.
And the fact that you have a platform like Twitch that has enabled you to kind of capture this entire new life, it makes you have like a lot of admiration for the platform. Maybe it's not necessarily the name Twitch as a platform, but just the internet and being able to enable you to do all of these things. It's breathtaking sometimes. It really makes you appreciate what we have access to in 2019.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing it taught me was like that connection is super important. Your connection to yourself and your connection to other people. If you're one of those people who's like, I fucking hate people. People suck. Like, you don't hate people. Fuck off. Quit lying to yourself. You want them to love you as you are.
Right. You got to
It
find
starts
your
with you
people.
loving yourself as you are.
Yep.
I had not had any good relationships in my life until I started prioritizing my relationship with myself. And then after that, my man came into my life. He's like the best thing that's ever happened to me.
The
He's such a
man.
he's such a kind person and he's so interesting and insightful and very chill, which was really nice. It's the healthiest relationship I've ever had. And it's wild to me now, like when I talk to people about him and I say, like, in over 3 years of dating, he's never raised his voice to me once. People are blown away by that.
Oh yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, how sad is that? You know, I was shocked by that. Now I'm seeing other people are also shocked by that. But like, you deserve to feel good. You deserve relationships that are positive in your life. And connection, whether you like it or not, is a part of us. It is ingrained in us. We are designed to be around and flourish with other people. We are
Right.
our best selves when we have a good and supportive community at our backs.
100%. And in my answer for what's my favorite thing about streaming, the people, honestly, just being, not just being live, but just being involved in a community. Have you ever heard of the band Coheed and Cambria?
Yeah.
I would assume so. So I have a dragonfly tattoo on my arm that is for
I like it.
that. Before I got into Twitch, I got into an online forum that was for Coheed and Cambria, and I have an insane amount of friends that I all met through that website. We went on vacation together, multiple places,
That's
Montana, just amazing. So I have a huge place in my heart for online communities in general. But just being able to, there's an art piece that might be, where is my mouse? And I feel like normally I wouldn't take the time to try and find this, but I feel like it's very important to the conversation. There is a art piece called Find the Others, which the premise of the art piece is like, you need to spend the time and find the other people that are about what you are about. And I'm pretty sure I have it saved on a wish list here. I'm just going to mumble install until I can find the thing. One password, please log in. My internet's so slow. Oh God. Lists, art, find the others. Okay. Drop this website, please. Okay. So I'll post this in chat in case anybody's anybody's curious. So the description of the art piece is: admit it, you aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try and fit in, the more you feel like an outsider. Watching the normal people as they go about their automatic existences. For every time you say club passwords like, have a nice day and weather's awful today, eh? You yearn inside to say forbidden things like, tell me something that makes you cry, or what do you think deja vu is for? Face it, you even want to talk to that girl in the elevator, but what if that girl in the elevator and the balding man who walks past your cubicle at work are thinking the same thing? Who knows what you might learn from taking a chance on conversation with a stranger? Everyone carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts, do the unexpected, find the others.
Like it.
Like it a fucking lot. That's been in my Amazon wish list for quite some time, but that's kind of been my mantra on Twitch. I've spent my entire life having friends and group of friends that weren't into the same things in me, and I could never have deep, meaningful conversations about the things that I was passionate about. And then I found online communities where you could instantly connect with people all around the world, and then Twitch, where I could explore my love of gaming and of IRL and building keyboards and podcasting. I didn't think I was ever getting into podcasting. I didn't know that I liked people so much that I would want to take a huge chunk out of a day to just sit down and talk to people. And I feel like out of all of the things that I do on Twitch, sitting here and talking to people and experiencing life with people in chat is one of the best things that I've come across in my life so far.
I feel that real fucking hard.
Word. All right, next question comes from Jehobe. How did you pronounce it? Jehobe? Jobe Sorbet. Question for both. Since meal prep is pretty much garbo. Oh no, where's the rest of the question? Oh, it got cut off.
Fuck you, Jobe.
No, Jobe, if you're still around, can you repost your question? I'm so sorry. My chatbot for grabbing questions has been fucking up lately, and it only took half of your question. So I'm gonna move on to the next one. Jobe, if you're still around. This one comes from Vaughn. With OMAD, do you make exceptions for weekends or events, or do you just adjust the time of day you have a single meal?
For me, it's like a lifestyle, like you're choosing to do this as often as you possibly can. So like you were talking about, like kind of having the guilt of not doing it. Like, I think if you go into that choosing not to like make yourself feel guilty for not abiding, it's like exercise. As often as you can do it, it's going to be good for you. On the days you're not doing it, you don't have to beat yourself up. The more time you take off, yeah, you're going to potentially have some physiological like symptoms. You might notice the hunger cravings start to come back and fluctuate, but you've already done it once. You just begin again, get back into that routine, get back into whatever routine or schedule that you have that feels best for you, and go at it. But like if we're traveling, I want to experience as much of the food in the new place that I'm at. So yeah, I'll take a little tummy discomfort sometimes for the sake of having breakfast, lunch, and dinner so that I can try all the fucking food.
Yep.
I know when I get home, I know that weekend I might wind up doing a 24-hour fast as like a nice little kind of reset button before getting back into my routine. But it's not something that you have to be like, this is my diet now, I have to be strict with it. It's more of like a lifestyle that you're choosing based on the benefits that you know that it can bring into your life.
Right. Just to piggyback off what she's saying, being somebody who works a full-time job and streams and has a house and a girlfriend, the time that I have open to hanging out with friends is pretty limited. So if my friend says, hey, I'm going out for my birthday and I haven't seen you for 4 months, I'm not going to show up and be like, yeah, by the way, I'm fasting. So I'm just like not going to enjoy the night. I'm just going to watch you all eat and drink. I'm going to gorge. Like I am going to enjoy the time. Obviously, if you have like, if you're doing it every week, multiple times a week, you're probably going to start building a bad habit. But if you can recognize that it's just a one-time thing and the next day you can just go back right into it. Obviously, if you eat late, that next morning is going to be pretty tough of trying to fast through the day. I don't know about you, but if I eat and drink late, like tomorrow afternoon is going to be fucking tough because my body's going to be wanting some sustenance pretty early in the morning. But as long as you can get right back on that train, it's not too bad. So I am somebody who isn't like, I have to do this, stick to this schedule at all times. I'm on vacation in fucking Paris and I'm just drinking seltzer water all day. I got life to experience. No, it's not for me. You gotta take breaks every once in a while.
Agreed.
All right, so Jehobe Sorbet asks, since meal prep sucks, how do you prep for eating fresh? How do you prep to cook something, shop ahead, or wait till the meal? What if you can't decide what to eat?
I haven't really had too many instances where I can't decide. When that does happen, that's like if I'm not feeling like anything, then I default to something that's healthy because I'm like, well, fuck it. If I'm not eating for the sport of it, I might as well eat for the utility and eat something that I'm gonna feel good after having, so I'll have something a little bit cleaner. Sometimes we prep on a week by week basis. Sometimes it's a day by day thing. It's all based on our schedule and our routine. We try to bring as much foresight as we can into it, but it's not always feasible. Like anyone who was watching my stream this past week, our schedules were kind of all over the place. So we wound up eating a lot more stuff that he brought home versus me cooking. But
Right.
that's usually not the norm. Normally, like I'm cooking after stream and then eat.
For me and my girlfriend and I, excuse me, we have a list called, or an app called AnyList, where it's basically just a grocery list app that we share. So like if I'm at work and I say, hey, can you add toilet paper and so to the list? And then she'll do that. We pretty much plan our meals a week in advance. We try and go grocery shopping once a week, usually on the weekends. And we'll say, okay, what do you want for dinner? This. We always buy some shitty frozen meals for the days like, okay, I had to work an hour late. I have to stream in 20 minutes. What can we eat? So Hot Pockets obviously are on there. Some frozen pizzas, some frozen meals and stuff like that. For the most part, we just, through kind of this fasting and me learning how to cook over the past couple of years, I have started to experience with different meals. And I just find the things that, hey, I know I have 30 minutes. I know that I can throw this meal together in 15 and I'll be fine. But I would say usually a week in advance, we brainstorm, what are you craving this week? And she'll say, I want the Greek bowls. I want the skirt steak and sweet potatoes. And we'll just buy pretty much based off of that.
Feel that.
Next question, also from Vaughn. Knackers, when you choked early on your drink, did you wonder if that was the end? SheSnaps, you stayed pretty incredibly calm during that, and the show kept going. So when you were talking about eyeball fucking your cabinet, I hadn't heard anybody say eyeball fuck in quite some time, and that's why I choked.
I'm glad I could bring that into your life today, because now, like someday, like this week, you're gonna find the perfect opportunity to insert that into conversation to make someone else choke on their drink.
Yes. And in return, I feel like I need to give something to you. One of our favorite sayings around these parts, which can be used as a positive, as a negative, but it's get that ass sucked. So you can either say like, I don't like you. I haven't showered in a couple days. Suck on my ass, you dick. Or it's like, dude, fucking awesome. Let me suck on your ass. It's both ways. So
yeah, that makes sense.
If you're ever feeling like you need to get something done or you need to lay down some pipe, you just say, dude, somebody get that ass sucked? Please. So if you find a way that you can muscle that into your daily routine,
I'll journal it later. I'll do some creative writing exercises, see how I can bring that in.
Are you gonna live journal it, or are we talking like journal?
No, like a journal.
Oh shit. Okay.
I'm gonna write about you in my diary.
I had a great podcast today.
It's actually gonna be a lot more like, this guy.
Can't fucking believe this. Sucking ass? Are you kidding me? What kind of podcast is this? Next question from Hellhound. This is for you, Snaps. Favorite Guardian class?
Hunter Night Stalker.
Hunter Night Stalker?
That's my shit.
Okay.
I'm a wiggly hunter.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds like dope shit.
It is dope shit.
I feel out of my element. I'll play it one day. I don't know when. The main road bump for me is for the past year and a half, I've let my subs choose the games that I play on stream. So I'm currently just making my way through a list of single player campaigns. And there's at least 15 more that I have to get through before I can start choosing my games again. So we'll get there eventually. We'll see. We'll see.
I believe in you.
Thank you. This one comes from Paul. What is the ultimate OMAD? I don't know if he means like OMAD meal. Like what's the ultimate?
Like what is your exciting, like, holy shit, I have a food boner. I got all the food laid out in front of me. Like your one meal a day, if it could be the ultimate meal, what is it?
Oof. Do you have an idea? Because I need to think.
Oh yeah, I got an idea.
Okay.
It's usually breakfast foods because Brinner is my shit. So I'm a big fan of having eggs, bacon, pancakes, and toast. And like, if I'm gonna make pancakes, which is not an all the time thing, but if I'm gonna make pancakes, I'm making them in the bacon grease. So they're basically like deep fried pancakes. And I like to make them with a little bit of bacon in the pancakes as well, little itty bitty bits of crumbly bacon. I throw some banana, I throw some chocolate up in that bitch.
Oh my God.
I have my eggs, bacon, and pancakes and toast all and just maple bacon, by the way, crispy. That's important.
Dude, Applewood maple bacon, fucking hands down. So the amount of meals that I really, really love, I haven't necessarily had them as my one meal a day yet. Eggs Benedict. If I'm going to boast, I make a really fucking good Eggs Benedict.
That's something you should boast about. Lots of people fuck that up.
I will tell you, the easiest, there's two very key points that involve the poached egg and the hollandaise sauce. The key to a poached egg is straining the loose egg whites with a wire mesh strainer and having your water. They need to be fresh eggs. The fresher the egg, the better the poach. Mm-hmm. The water needs to be at the perfect 180 degrees when you are poaching them. And for the hollandaise, the easiest way to make hollandaise is to have a hand blender. So what you do is you put egg, lemon juice, salt in a cup. You bring up the butter to melt, and then you blend the eggs as you slowly pour in butter, and you will get perfect hollandaise every fucking time.
Note the slowly part of that. You cannot be just going balls deep, dropping butter in there. You're going to fuck up your hollandaise real quick.
So good.
Gotta go slow.
One of the meals recently that's been one of my favorite food prep meals, but as a fresh dish, it's really, really good. It's a Greek bowl. It is homemade tzatziki sauce. It's a cucumber salad that has like a rosemary, salt, pepper, and red wine vinaigrette dressing. And then rice, marinated chicken, red onion, the cucumber salad, and then the tzatziki sauce. And you just
sounds fucking good.
Mix it all up into a bowl and timelessly shovel in a slow pace.
There you go. There you go. Now I like it.
But other than those two, honestly, a reverse seared ribeye, like a reverse seared butter basted ribeye in cast iron, is hands down the best way to have a steak, and is my favorite way to make a steak.
I want my steak as rare as possible.
Like
I fucking love
rare.
Like, okay, so here's my steak. Go like this, and then give it to me.
Okay. That rare. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far, but you guys all just learned something about snaps. Okay, be careful.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the final.
I was gonna say I have room for like one more question, and then I'm ready to go and eat my salad and start winding my brain down here.
Perfect. So we got one final question.
Woo!
Playing one-handed. Do you know if any specific meditation for coping with grief or moving on with life after loss? Also, grapes. Smiley face.
I did a podcast episode on moving forward after a loss. My dad died in January unexpectedly, and it was the only time in my life that I had dealt with a loss while I was already in like a good state of mind. So I was blown away by how different the like healing process can be when you're kind of actively prioritizing yourself during that. So if you're looking for any additional like pointers on that, I would say check out that podcast. I put a lot of work into like researching the grief process and how it works. And that goes for the loss of anything. Like it can be the loss of a relationship, it can be like someone passing away, or it can be a breakup. Our bodies kind of process things in similar ways, or our minds do at least. As far as meditations, I think anything with compassion at the core is going to be really good. But really, like a lot of what you deal with after a loss is your brain is going to try to put you in that place where you're thinking about all the times that you're going to lose because they're not there. And that can be really hard. So I think reframing with gratitude at like the core is probably the thing that helped me the most, was finding ways to be grateful, not just for my experiences with that person before I lost them, but feeling grateful for like every part of my existence in the meantime. One of the things I did after my dad died and I took like 2 weeks off of streaming, I spent a lot of time verbally practicing gratitude. Like it sounds ridiculous and it sounds like hippie bullshit that if you had told me I was going to do this 2 years ago, I would have been like, ah, fuck you. You're fucking crazy. But I literally like walk around my house sometimes to help myself feel better. And I put my hands on the things that are around me. I put my hands on the house, like the walls, put my hands on things that bring me joy. And I tell my things that I'm grateful for them, or I say thank you. So I'll like put my hands on my favorite chair in the living room. I'll say, I'm grateful for you. Thank you for being a place where I feel comfortable meditating all the time. I go put my hands on my table. Thank you for holding up all my shit. You do a lot here.
That's my food.
Yeah, it sounds really ridiculous, but I tell people all the time after my dad died, I cried more out of gratitude than out of grief. And I would not have expected that to happen. And I still feel that. Like at any point, if I spend too much time practicing gratitude, I want to just like sit and weep out of joy of how like beautiful this world is, because there is so much to be thankful for. So fucking much.
It's
That would
easy to
be my
get caught up
advice.
and miss it all.
Amen.